Okay, I did unmute myself this time, which is not which is something I didn't do on Sunday morning, I think. Hello, we are live. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it this morning because I had a meeting at 9:45 to fill out forms for my son to start kindergarten next year. Actual registration happens like online, and that's not till I think the summer, but they have to like get all of his stuff in first. But it literally took only a few minutes and I was out, and it's not very far from my house. So I was able to get this started. I forgot I moved my trash. So I am here. I have not done any writing since Sunday. Monday, I kind of took off. I tend to do that on the days after I do long writing days, unless I'm like really feeling it. Just because I either get my house back in order or I just need a break. Then yesterday I was doing grocery shopping, and at like 4 I came down with a terrible migraine, and I drank some tea, had some ibuprofen, and watched Pride and Prejudice before I went to bed. So I haven't written anything since Sunday. I will say yesterday I got a weird urge to go back to contemporary romance. So I might work on my contemporary romance this morning. We'll see how that translates. I do have to clean up the desk just a little bit because I was doing some journaling on Monday. But Allie is here. Hello, welcome. For those of you who want to plant a tree, I do have the code scrolling on the bottom. Let's see. Let me clean this up just a little bit. In the comments, let me know what you are working on, what your goal is for this morning, for the sprints, how you're doing if you are participating in the challenge with me. I am, let's see, I think I'm still on track, even though I missed the past 2 days. Oh, I'm just slightly behind. I need to get 1,088 words today in order to stay on track. But I think I can. I just hit the microphone. I think I can get that. Of course, my laptop is dead, so let's turn that on. I do have my extra large coffee because my kids woke up extremely early today. I don't know what it is about kids, but they either wake up extremely early or they don't want to get out of bed and you have to like force them to get out of bed. Let's see. I'm still working on my romantasy, but I want to finish it this month, which means I need around 50,000 more words, 90K total. I have, for my romantasy, I have the goal for, I think, 90K as well, or 85. Let me see. What did I put that as? I did a goal of 85K. But I'm an underwriter, and I don't even know if I would hit 85K with the first manuscript. I really don't know, because I've never finished a manuscript yet. But from what I've noticed, I feel like I'm an underwriter because I am great at like the dialogue, but I'm not so great at like the narrative portion, or like connecting scenes together is what I struggle with a lot too. But I think the reason why I was feeling like like my contemporary romance yesterday because I was rereading some of what I wrote on Sunday and I feel like it's just trash. But I don't know if that's just because it's a first draft and I have a perfectionistic skill that is very detriment. But I feel like all my words are just trash. Like they sound abysmal to me. And that could very well just be because I need to not look at that stuff until I'm like fully done. But so we'll see what I gravitate towards once I finish cleaning up this desk. But if we're ready for the first sprint, I can go ahead and start that. Let's see. Yeah, why don't we go ahead and start the first sprint? I will see you in 25 minutes. Happy sprinting. Okay, that was that sprint. How did we do? I cleaned up my desk, reorganized it a little bit, and started putting together my planner. Because, you know, I apparently can't do that on Mondays. Let me get a new code if you want to plant a tree with me. 5E69Z4RSG. If you want to plant a tree with me, the code is scrolling on the bottom. Let me know how you did in that sprint. I still don't know if I want to continue working on the romantasy or if I'm switching gears and going to my contemporary romance. I don't know what I'm in the mood for today. Yesterday I was in the mood for a contemporary romance. I don't know why I keep like wanting to say rom-com because it's not a rom-com. But I don't know what I'm feeling today. Today I feel like I might actually be in a fantasy mood. I really don't know. Still need to catch up on my journaling so that I can finally take those videos. Wow. My kids need to stop waking me up so early. I really wish I was a morning person, but I'm not. I am a night owl. I'll probably stick with writing my romantasy today. If I get the urge to change to my contemporary romance later, I can do that later. But I'd like to at least get some words in for the romantasy or the fantasy romance. I don't know what to call it anymore with that genre. I know there's a difference between fantasy romance and romantasy, but I feel like it's all in the same genre nowadays. I don't feel like fantasy romance and romantasy just get looped in as one. Where is my notebook for this though? There it is. Oh, I also have to edit a video. Maybe I'll do that during the next sprint. If it opens. Do 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 do. Sorry, I'm like so excuse me, quiet today. I never know what to talk about when there's nothing happening in the chat, and I have no problem with you guys lurking. That's totally fine. I just hope you guys don't mind lulls of silence at times. Let's see. YouTube stuff. I don't remember where one ends and one begins, so I'm just gonna put all of these videos in there. Sounds like someone's shoveling outside. But there's no snow. It's like 40 degrees out. It's like practically summer. Okay. Why don't we go ahead and get this next sprint started? And I will see you guys back in 25 minutes. Happy sprinting. Okay, that was that sprint. How did we do? I was updating all of my spreadsheets. And I started editing of the January vlog, but it is still optimizing all the clips. So that's on the back burner for right now. Katrina is at work doing worky things. Hello, thanks for lurking. Hopefully people at work aren't driving you too crazy, right? Oh. Ren is here, just joining in, hoping to find some motivation. Me too, girl. Me too. I was saying earlier, I didn't do any writing since Sunday, since I did the all day write-a-thon writing day. Monday, I just took it easy. I attempted to catch up on housework. I don't think I even got most of that done. And then yesterday I did grocery shopping, and then I ended up getting a bad migraine. So I didn't do any writing things yesterday either. So I'm trying to get back into it. Yesterday I was feeling like writing my contemporary romance before I got my headache, and today I'm trying to figure out if I'm still in that mood or if I want to go back to the fantasy romance. So I think that's why I'm on the struggle bus right now. And not to mention the kids woke up extremely early today, and it's either they wake up super early or I have to force them out of bed. They can't just, wake up when my alarm goes off. A little, since I had jury duty yesterday. Oh, did you have to actually jury on a case, or were you just in the waiting room the entire day? I'm going to go ahead and set up a room for the forest. If you guys want to plant a tree with me, I'll go ahead and get that set up right now. Now that there's more people. M3S8K. 3S8K ASG. 3M3S8K ASG. Alrighty, if you want to plant a tree with me, you can go ahead and enter that forest code, which is scrolling at the bottom. I made it to the jury panel, but I couldn't do it on the dates they are having the trial because of rehearsals, so I was exempt. Well, that's nice that they exempt you for that kind of stuff. I've had jury duty a little too many times to count. I got sent a notice, I think 3 or 4 times when I was in college, and I got exempt from those because I had to miss classes for it. So I don't even know why they sent it to me, because I thought there was a thing that you aren't sent jury summons if you are a full-time student. So I just always had to call and let them know that I was a full-time student, and they took me off of it. And then I feel like I get a summons every 2 years. And let's see, since being out of college, I think I've been summoned 4 times, if I'm doing the math correctly. The first 3, I was all on standby, and the last one, I actually ended up having to go, but I went there, I signed in and everything. I was there for an hour and there was no new cases coming through, so they sent us home. So I got lucky on that one. And I also got lucky that that was, like, super close to my house and I didn't have to go to the, downtown one, which there's no parking, or even the one on California, which is in the worst area ever. If she had another ride to get home, I wouldn't have been. They still send them here for students, but it's an exemption you can take. What is the website for growing a tree? Oh, it's an app. It's the Forest app. Um, it's like a focusing type of thing where you get to plant trees, and whatnot. Trees and plants. Yep, it's Forest. Either on the phone or on, I think tablets as well. You're welcome. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think the last time I was summoned for jury was almost 2 years ago. So it's probably coming. Ugh. I hate how, like, most of my friends have either never gotten a jury summons or have only had, like, 1 or 2 their entire life, and I've seriously had, like, 8, and I don't want that. I don't know what kind of, list I am on, but I don't want it. Like, I thought I remember you telling me that you were summoned not too long ago. Why is it that they always just pick, like, the same people? Like, I don't wanna do it. Oh, yeah, no, I've been summoned, like, 8 times. It's not fun. Like, I don't want to be on it. I don't really think I would be a very good juror anyways. I think the only time I would want to do it is if I was, like, doing research for a book. I take some snacks and read. Yeah, I didn't have any snacks with me other than I think my Gatorade or something, but I did bring a book. I remember it was Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I had started reading it and I got, like, through, I think, 20 pages, then got bored because I was not comfortable in the chairs that they had in, like, the waiting room, and then 5 minutes later, they basically sent us all home because there were no, cases or no new cases that were happening on that day, so they sent us all home. So, it was nice to be able to read, but I wasn't comfortable. Like, it was just really annoying, and I was, like, hunched over. I've had, like, 4, but they were all canceled before the day. LOL, lucky me. I guess in a sense, I've been lucky because for the majority of them, I've either had to get exempt because I was a full-time student or I was on standby, and when I called the day before, it wasn't my last name, like the letter of my last name that they were calling for jurors. So I was lucky in the first 7 of the summons. It was just the 8th one I had to go. But I guess I was lucky because I got to leave early. But still, like, why do they keep sending me summons? I don't want them. It's supposed to be completely random, but I feel like it's not. Mm-mm. For those of you who were writing with me on Sunday, my friend who had to go to the hospital, she is now out. She's doing much better. So thank you for all of the thoughts and the prayers that you guys sent my way and her way, because I'm so happy that she is, like, technically out of the woods now. She's I think on medicine for the next couple of weeks, but she's breathing better, she's feeling better. So, thank you for all of the good vibes. Thank you. Alrighty. I need to figure out if I'm working on a fantasy romance or if I am writing the contemporary romance. I don't know what kind of mood I'm in. That's the problem. I'm such a moody writer. I just don't I don't know what kind of mood I'm in right now. And Katrina, I don't think you were here earlier, but I was talking about how I was reading through some of my words that I wrote this month for the fantasy romance, and I feel like they're all trash. Trash. Abysmal. And I don't know if that's just because it's the first draft and I just don't like the way that it is. And it's my perfectionistic want and need to make things perfect. But I hate it. So I don't know if that's also the reason why I'm like wanting to possibly write the contemporary romance. Well, that's normal. I feel the same way about these words I've written. How do you keep writing when you feel like this? Because it's really getting me down. Really, really getting me down. Like I was reading it and I was like, I just no. And I think that's really the reason why I had the urge to do the contemporary romance yesterday. But I also don't go back and read. I fix everything in the end. Yeah, I need to do that. But I don't know how to force myself to do that. Yep, I'm the same. Just keep going. You can fix it later. Can I, though? Coco, hello. Getting back to writing. I had a busy-ish morning with work stuff. Nice. I am attempting to get back into writing for this next sprint. Like I want to write the fantasy romance, but I also don't. Do the invisible edit that Jessica Brody talks about. Yeah, it's figuring out what that edit is, though, is the issue. Like, I just look at it and I'm like, this is abysmally bad. But I don't know how to fix it. But then I get stuck on it. And I don't know how to force myself to just keep going. I had a big problem with that and decided during Nano to not go back and reread. It worked. I just kept writing. It was a mess, but I finished it. Yeah, I need to just do that. Then just keep going. Yeah, I do need to just keep going. I'm also running into the problem where I've had the urge to do this fantasy romance this month. Like, that's what's been calling to me. But in my Notion, where I have my writing schedule, let me pull that up real quick. In my writing schedule, I had where I worked on a contemporary romance once a quarter. So I had a goal for finishing a first draft of a contemporary romance once a quarter and excuse me, finishing a draft of the fantasy romance once a trimester. So I technically have until the end of April to get this fantasy romance done, but I only have until the end of March to get the contemporary romance done. And so I'm just like, trying to figure out how to go about doing that. Because I definitely don't want to switch it to where the fantasy romances due by March 31st, because I feel like the fantasy needs a lot more time because I know it's going to be a lot more words. But the contemporary romance, I haven't started. Maybe set up the screen in typewriter mode in your scribs so you can go back. You can't go back easily. I've never tried that. I think because I'm always constantly looking at like character profiles on like this, like I do like the dual screen on Scrivener. And I also was using Novelpad this month for the fantasy romance, which is probably another reason why I haven't tried that kind of feature. I used the comment feature on Docs to leave me notes if something came up if I wanted to change. Yeah, I've done that on Scrivener too. I just what I don't know what I want to change in what I've written so far in Project Amethyst, because I just know that it's just bad. I just don't know how to fix it yet. Let's see. Novelpad, just right in the chapter sections. You can't open up another section. Yeah, that's what I have been doing. So that has been helping. I'm just also like in my head on, do I work on the fantasy romance because that's what's been calling me all month, or do I work on the contemporary because I technically have a closer deadline for that one than I do for the fantasy romance. So we'll see. I don't even think I have anything set up for the contemporary romance. Like I might have I have a Scrivener. Um this is why I can't work on multiple projects, lol, not without clear boundaries. Yeah. I don't mind working on multiple projects. I feel like I'm a really good multitasker. Um, it's just trying to figure out which one to do first is my issue. And is the my mood is the biggest culprit in it. But why don't we go ahead and start this next sprint and get a little bit of productivity done. So I am starting the tree and starting the timer. I'll see you guys back in 25 minutes. Okay, that was that sprint. How did we do? I was trying to find my notebooks. For some reason, I thought I had a blank one of these, but I guess I don't. So I was going to put my contemporary romance notes in it. And I really wanted just like a plain big black one like this so that I can put stickers on it rather than the Archer and Olive size that I have. I also like that they're lined, so it's more like a journal. So I was looking for a blank one because I thought I bought a blank one not too long ago, and I guess I didn't because I don't see it on my Amazon orders. And these are already dedicated. Like this one is Project Blood, if you can't tell by the vampire teeth up there. And this one is for Project Violet, which is also Project Amethyst, which is what I'm working on, which everything is now in here. But I have this as like a backup. And then this is my Project Catalina, which if you've been watching my videos since I started posting them, this is one that I was working on in 2020, summer of 2020, where there's like a tornado scene in it. That's contemporary romance, and I'm going to get to it, but it's like further down in my series world. And I wanted to get one set up for the beginning of the series, but I don't have a notebook. So I guess I'm just using a plain Jane notebook that I used for some sort of game before, because there's scores. I don't know what game we were playing. So I'm going through that and just getting notes ready for the contemporary romance because I am kind of really feeling like writing that one. And I don't know if it's just because I know that that deadline is coming closer. But it's also, I think, less words. So before we went on the sprint, Coco was talking about her donut that we had, or that she had. I had a donut this morning too. And my daughter called as soon as the sprint started. I'll join back as soon as the call is finished. No worries. I'm in a good spot. Yay! That's so exciting. I've made it about halfway through my inputting a payroll. Awesome. I'm also trying to find a link for this. It won't let me go to the website. Let me see.
Important security message.
Oh.
Your computer has been locked up.
Why?
Your IP address was used.
Ah! I think the donut helped. That's awesome. I love it when food helps.
Identity theft virus.
No.
To unlock the computer, please call support immediately.
What the hell? Okay. I'm starting a sprint so I can figure out what's going on with my computer. So I will see you guys in 25 minutes because I need to figure out what's going on with my computer. that was that sprint. How did you all do? Katrina said that sounds dire. Not the sassy robot voice. And hope it gets fixed. So, what happened was there was a website that was on a more resources slide of a Sarah McLean class that I took a few years ago. And it's literally like this all on one page. There's literally hardly any white space on it. And it's all like writing tips and writing resources and whatnot. And I was going to that website so that I could get a copy to share with you guys. And apparently my laptop is vulnerable to the forget what it's called, but it's where like it directs you to a fake website. And it popped up as like this full screen. It didn't look like it was in a website type of thing, and it was the Windows security logo and whatnot, and telling me to call a specific number. And so I immediately called my husband because he's the tech guru, and he said close out of that. And I'm like, but it doesn't look like it's taking up the entire screen. And I was just like moving my mouse around, and at the very top there was like an X button, and as soon as I hit the exit button, it brought me back to like Google Chrome and everything. So I immediately closed out of that tab, closed that down, and ran an antivirus scan. But thank God for my husband, because it literally looked exactly like the Windows security logo and everything. So I'm just like, these scammers are getting super, super clever and crafty, and I don't like them. I do think it's fixed. I ran through the antivirus scan, and I just have to like restart my computer and whatnot. Alex is here. Hi, friends, putting groceries away and then joining the sprint, hoping to get at least something on the page today. Crossing my fingers for you. I have not gotten anything on the page yet because I've been dealing with other things. Katrina made more progress on payroll. Hello, Michelle. Welcome. I'll be here for like another hour. I have to be off by 1:30 at the latest, so I can go pick up the son from school. Oh, it totally freaked me out. It totally freaked me out. That's why I was like, we're gonna go for a sprint. So it was, we didn't have like really a break in the last sprint because that freaked me out and I had to get on the phone with the husband. Sorry, my husband was texting me. But yeah, totally freaked me out. Which really, really sucks because I feel like this is a really cool resource, because there's like character basics on here where, and physical appearance, and it gives you so much information on this one front and back page, and I'm really upset now. Yeah, I ended up updating my calendar and finally scheduling an allergist appointment for my son. We have been waiting for this referral to get figured out since November. Oh, I am so happy that you're able to get your son in. I have to actually get my son in to see an ENT to make sure, or to rule out if his adenoids are enlarged or not, and see if that's part of his speech problem, because he goes to speech therapy once a week. And so I need to get him in to rule out the adenoids. And it's been a thing. And then I also have to get myself into an ENT for all my sinus issues. But I'm just nervous for myself to go. Oh man. Uh, yeah. No. Okay. Um okay. Insurance and pharma suck. It's always such a struggle, and for what? Yeah. Luckily, I don't have to really wait for referrals because I have a PPO, so I technically don't need referrals with my insurance, but it's finding the doctors and setting up the appointments and all of that. And a lot of these doctors are like booked for like months. It's ridiculous. But even though we have like really crappy insurance, because since I'm unemployed and my husband's work doesn't provide health benefits through his job because they're a very small company, um, we have to pay out of pocket, and we don't have like the added benefit of going through a group, so it's much more expensive, and the insurance itself sucks even more. So I think if we're on like a 70/30 or even a 60/40, to where once we meet our deductible, which is ridiculously high, it's like I think 7,000 per person that we have to meet every year just to get the insurance to pay for something. It's fucking ridiculous. Excuse my language. Um, Once we meet that threshold, then the insurance only pays, I think, 70%, and we have to pay 30% of everything else, I think is what we're on. As to where when I had my full-time job before I got laid off with from the pandemic, we had PPO insurance where it was 90/10, where our insurance company would pay 90% after we hit the family deductible of 2,500 in 1 year. And now it's 7,000 per person. So it's real fun. Insurance is such a scam. Yeah, absolutely. It's terrible. But it's like you're screwed if you don't have insurance, but you're screwed if you do. Or you're screwed if you're not available to be on a group insurance. Yep, I don't even have insurance because I can't afford it or the deductible, and that's through work. So we utilize urgent care and pay cash. Yeah. Um, it's insurance is so stupid. So stupid. But I don't think like what is it, the United Healthcare where like the rest of the world is on. I don't think that's any better. I think that's kind of a scam too. Um, like it's free for them, but I feel like there's drawbacks to all of that as well. Insurance itself is ridiculous. All they care about is money. Money, money, money. They don't care about you getting better. In fact, I'm not getting into it. We are lucky to have TRICARE since my husband is a reservist. Referrals are a pain, but TRICARE is good insurance under the layers of bullshit. The state of insurance in the US is so awful. Yeah. I have a friend in Canada, and she said their taxes are slightly higher, but her pregnancy didn't cost a fraction of what it cost me to have wee one. Yes, but I feel like there's other stipulations with the insurance that they have, to where there's like longer wait lists, and you're only allowed certain drugs or something, or certain surgeries, or there's something to where, like, if the insurance that we have here in the States, you can basically see anyone. I don't know what, don't quote me on it, but I know that there's issues with both sides of it. Um, and you're right, it might depend on the country. And as much as I would love the um why am I blanking on it? The when you have a baby and you're off of work for that long. Why am I blanking on the word right now? Um, oh my god, this is gonna drive me nuts. This is how you know I haven't finished my full coffee and I was up at an ungodly, yes, maternity leave, thank you. Um, as much as I yeah, thanks. As much as I would like the maternity leave to be so much better than it is in the States, where we only get the 6 to 8 weeks, um, uh, and that's partially paid for most women. Um, yeah, a lot of other countries have close to a year and paid. I think there are also drawbacks to their type of insurance, even though this portion is what I want for all parents, because 6 to 8 weeks is not a lot of time to have with your newborn. I was lucky enough to where I was able to take a full 12 weeks off. 8 of it was paid 60%, and then the other 4 weeks we just dealt with it. Um, And I think on top of that, I still had to use 1 week of my PTO just to take the full 12. It's ridiculous, but even I feel like 12 weeks is not enough time to spend with your newborn. And for the um for the fathers, there's hardly anything. I feel like a lot of companies now are starting to do parental leave, but like it's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. I did 6 weeks with no pay or using my vacation days. Yeah. It's ugh, it's so ridiculous. I have a friend who lives in Germany, and she had a baby and she had a full year of paid maternity leave. And I think they even worked with her on like taking less hours or something. Excuse me, when she went back to work. But everything was paid, and she got to spend her first full year with her daughter. So she didn't have to miss any of her firsts or anything, and I am extremely jealous. I actually ran into the issue where after I had my daughter, I took the full 12 weeks off, and I went back, and 2 weeks later I was laid off because my position was no longer available. But they waited a full 2 weeks, so I got 1 paycheck after going back before saying, "Oh, sorry, your job is no longer available." And there was an availability of me going back to, like, the warehouse portion, but at that time, I was anemic and I couldn't even take showers without my husband being home, so I had to turn down that job because in the warehouse, there's no AC or heat, depending on, what season you are, and it was the end of July, so it was very hot in the warehouse, and so as soon as I said that I was anemic, I can't work in, those kinds of conditions that's when they ended up giving me a decent severance pay as long as I, said that I wouldn't get a lawyer and sue them. Um, but I mean, it's ridiculous. So then I was unemployed for, I think, almost 4 months before I found my other job. And luckily, after I had my son there, they did not lay me off 2 weeks after coming back. My position was still there, but got laid off because of the pandemic. So it's just been, really fun. Being an adult sucks. It's so overrated. I want to go back to being a kid where you didn't have to worry about shit other than skinned knees, bumps and bruises, and where we were going to go play or who was going to come join playing kickball in the street. Being a kid was the greatest. Alrighty. I just need to restart my laptop. Nikki is here. Hello, Nikki. I'm going to be here for one more full sprint and then probably a 15 to 20-minute sprint after that because I have to be off no later than 12:30. Alrighty, restarting my laptop. I probably should have done that while I was chit-chatting. Let's go ahead and get this next sprint started. I will see you guys. Oh, I see a comment. Hold on. Oh, just saying hi to Nikki. Okay, let's get this next sprint started, and I will see you guys back in 25 minutes. Happy sprinting! Okay, that was that sprint. How did we do? I think my laptop is finally usable. So there's that. Today has not been my day, has it? All right, I'll be able to do one more short sprint. So either a 15-minute or a 20-minute sprint. Let's do the Google timer. Let's do 15. Stop, reset, share this tab. There we go. All right, if I can get 500 words today, I'll be happy. Currently at 172. You can do it. You can do it. Michelle says you can do it as well. Today has not gone as planned for me. I did some fan fiction reading. Awesome. What fan fiction are you reading? I haven't read fan fiction in forever. And that's mainly because I can't really track it. And that irritates my my brain. Like, I don't know how to track it as like a book or like a book read or how many pages I read type of thing. I got 407 words, some new, some typed up from my handwritten notes. Yay! I love that for you. I'm still at no words written today. But like, here's my reading stat page. And if I can't put any fan fiction in here, it'll drive me bonkers. And if I don't know how many pages I read, I can't put it in here. It'll drive me bonkers. So I feel like that's what keeps me from reading fan fiction. So it's a me problem for sure. What's today's date? The 7th. February 7th. 15 minutes. All right. I'm going to write some words in this next 15-minute sprint. I have to because I already wrote 15 minutes. Whoop, right there. And if I can't put a word count next to it, that's going to drive me bonkers. I have lots of issues. So this will be the last sprint for this stream. I will be back on again tonight at 8 p.m., maybe 7 p.m. Central. So yeah, maybe 7 p.m. Central time. Depending on how my kids are and if my husband isn't doing anything else. because clearly I didn't get a whole lot of writing stuff done during this stream. So I am going to start this sprint now, just because it's already getting close to the 1:15 mark, and I need to get off by 1:30. I don't track how much I read, but I do make sure I read every day to beat my streak on Kindle. Yes, you do that too? I was able to read every day in January, but I missed Monday, so I don't have that streak for February. But for the Kindle challenge that they have, let's see, where is it? I tried to, it's not going to let me, huh? There we go. For the challenge, I try to get as many of the bookmarks as I can. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm like actually reading every day. I make sure to at least read 1 or 2 pages every day so that I can keep my streak going. So I'm glad I'm not the only one who does that. But I do track what I read. I love my reading journal. I missed doing it last year, and so I'm making sure I keep up the habit this year because I felt really lost at the end of last year, when I realized I didn't have a journal, like a reading journal for 2023. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and come on at 8 p.m. Eastern time, which is 7 p.m. Central time, 6 p.m. Mountain time, and 5 p.m. Pacific time. If not, I'll be here at my regular scheduled time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, and 6 p.m. Pacific. But I'm going to try and be an hour earlier today. It just depends on the kids and the husband. Sweet. All right, let's get this last sprint started, and I will see you guys back in 15 minutes. Okay, and that was that sprint. How did we do? Katrina will also be on tonight writing, about to write the meet cute. I do have a journal where I keep track of books I like and don't like. I write notes and thoughts on each book, so I guess I sort of track my reading in that sense. Yeah, absolutely. The meet cute, yay! Anytime you want to co-host, just let me know. Thanks, Nikki. I appreciate that. Okay. I was able to get 123 words in, and then I started writing things down in this notebook. I was using this for a book that's later on in a like spin-off series, but since I literally only did 1, 2, 3, 4 pages, I'm just going to use this notebook for the first book in the first series, because why not? And I don't feel like waiting till Friday to get the next notebook. So that's what I did. I was at least able to get 123 words. Writing that down now. And yeah. I gotta go eat though. I'm hungry. And I gotta leave in 15 minutes to go pick up my son. So there's that. So again, I will be on tonight for more sprinting. And hopefully actually getting more words in. Michelle got 289 words. Yay! I will be here maybe at 7 p.m. Central Time, but definitely by 8 p.m. Central Time, I will be live. Nikki did more reading. Yay. Okay. I am going to call it. I need to go eat something real quick, and I will see you guys tonight. So, my hands are freezing and I keep making typos. Get some of those like fingerless gloves. Okay, I will see you guys tonight if you join me. But thank you for streaming with me, and happy writing, everyone.